Yeah, I wanted to talk about today how I was feeling at the time when it all happened. As I said, I was trying to work through what I thought were my emotional issues, not realising, I suppose, that there was a lot more to it than that in terms of my belief systems. As I'm learning now, um, my thought patterns, uh, just general um, thoughts and feelings that we have been taught about ourselves, and not who we really are in an awakened sense of self. So yeah, I've done a lot of talking to people about emotional, yeah, because at the time, unknown to myself, I started having like flashbacks, and which led me to investigate further um, into my past, and just to question the role I had and the role of other loved ones in my life, which then led me on to learning about belief systems, how the family shapes your identity, how society shapes our identities, our loved ones' identities, and how we view being a good person, being, all the outward manifestations of success, doing well at school, getting the right job, marrying the right person, and so forth. All that is kind of like shaped by society, by a system um, that wants us either. It depends on what the goal of the system is. If the goal of the system is that of a society that is capitalist, that buys goods, sells goods, and deems its worthiness from profit and those outward manifestations of success, then that is going to be the belief system we are programmed with from, but it starts from a young age, from the time we start school. I mean, I've always heard about people's opinions on this, but to actually work through my own, um, what I thought were the major obstacles, to realise that this is a bigger issue. It's like Kansas going bye-bye, in The Wizard of Oz. Yeah, what we've been led to believe isn't actually what is. So, and that kind of begins to become apparent when all these, when you start questioning your, I wouldn't say family of origin, but just role in society at large, and the persona that we are given. And I mean, it might not necessarily be who we are. I mean, like I say, you could be in a 9 to 5 job that you feel doesn't fit your personality or your capabilities, and that may be because your parent did it, or your grandparent did that job, or your great great grandparent did that, sort that profession. So there's a lot to unpack at the beginning of a spiritual awakening. I wouldn't even say unpack, it's just to recognise that there are issues here, within yourself, that as you dig deeper into it, and day by day, month by month, year by year, you start to see, there's a pattern forming, and it will take you in the direction of where and how you need to heal. Yes, I think reading is definitely something you can do straight off the bat to kind of help and answer any questions that you might be raising for yourself. Definitely reading, because you can get instant access to any topic, and it's covered in depth. So you're not just going to get you can look at different authors, so you can't just get fobbed off with one point of view. So definitely reading, podcasts, YouTube, reading on the web is what I did as well. And then I came, it was maybe a few years into it that I started to come across the issues of narcissism, and as I've progressed further into my inquiries, I've learned about empath, and I mean, all these things I did know to some measure, I suppose, but I didn't have the terminology, the wording for it. I didn't know that these things could be, like narcissism could be a mental health issue. I mean, until I read certain books, I didn't even know about the mental health system or about personality disorders and their cluster types. I knew nothing of it, but having watched videos on YouTube, read books that discuss these topics in depth, I've gained a broader knowledge of what it all means and what world we're actually living in. Also, as well, I've started now to step back from television and mass media, reading newspapers and absorbing all that information. As I say, it all ties into a bigger system, and like I say, depending on what that system is geared towards, what its goal is, it will, I wouldn't say brainwash, but it will present information in the way it wants you to receive it, so that you have the outlook and the outcome that gears them towards their goal, that enables them basically to carry on and do what they want, regardless of if it's of any benefit to ourselves, to you or me. We're just cogs in the machine. But starting off, it depends on where you are in your own research in terms of this. So, I mean, I might be talking to people who already know this already and are way deeper into the mechanics of this machine. But a typical day. So having to digest and, like I say, become aware of Kansas and that we're on a yellow brick road. You also need to be eating healthily, exercising, meditation, to keep your mind, body, metabolism balanced, healthy, because you're already entering unknown territory, and I'm sure there's plenty of people who've gone, who haven't been able to manage their mental health, and as it is such a big thing these days due to the post-pandemic and whatever situations people are going through, it is important that you focus on your body